Lots of next gen talk, some Star Wars news, and more on this week's episode of TNC Live. How do? Beautiful lords and ladies of nerdom. This is TNC Live, episode 59. Manny Roman, with me as always, the man with gold.
Hey. Just making sure everything is working right now. Just, excited for the show. Kind of hoping this can be a nice smooth ride this week.
Smooth sailing.
We're hoping, man. We're hoping it can be smooth. We, as you guys can see, we are a little late today. Internet was just having some issues. Had to re-download Discord. So, looks like we're okay though, right now. So, Adam, everything looking good on your end? I know that you're kind of taking a peek at the show.
Yep, audio good, video good, music good.
Okay, awesome. That is good to hear. I'm excited, guys. Of course, as I just brought up, we got Adam. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I'm a sleepy boy.
Fair, man. I'm on like 6 hours now.
Oof.
Yeah.
Stop going to bed so late, brother.
Yeah.
Let's play my video games, man. Play my video games, dude. Gotta stay up late.
So we got a lot. So we got a lot to talk about on the show. Our news stories this week are pretty much. There's tons of news about next gen, both from Microsoft and from Sony. So we got a lot of stuff we're gonna cover there. We got some really fun movie news to talk about this week, and our listener topic, and got something I want to talk about at the end of the show, involving next week's listener topic. That's gonna be pretty fun, I think. But of course. We always kick it off with what we've been up to. Brandon, since you were up since 5 a.m., you got the most recent stuff to talk about.
5,
what you got
3.
for it?
Oh, see, the thing is, I woke up at like 7:30 or 8. I think that's the big thing with it, because some people like to wake me up. But
You need to get rid of those people out of your life because they sound toxic.
Just trying to think, man. I played a lot of TFT this week, a lot of Valorant this week. Made it into Gold 2. Made it back into Silver 1, I think, for League again. So that's nice. Been playing a lot of League this last week, thanks to our buddy Golden here, and an old friend from an old job, Kuzi. Yeah, dude, we were dominating in League yesterday. It was a good-ass time. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, that's been pretty good. Been grinding out a lot of WoW for my reputation. This is my last day. Adam knows I've been on a grind for like a month now. It's my last day to finish it, and I'm so excited, so happy. Trying to think what else I've been up to. I think that's really it. Valorant, League, TFT, World of Warcraft. Bought some.
You did do a little bit of a thing yesterday with me.
Yeah, I was just gonna try to lead it in. I just want to make sure before I lead it into you that I've covered all my bases, because I feel like there's something else I've done this. We played Halo 3. We played Halo 3, man, and oh my goodness, that was so much fun. That brought back some really good memories. Going back, playing some Guardian, I got to play a little bit of Narrows, and it was such a damn good time. It was a lot of fun. It was really enjoyable. And then Adam was alluding to, so I personally got some football cards the other day. I was like, man, I'm gonna open up some packs because I saw Adam buy something the other day, and last night we decided to buy some Pokemon cards. Open up some Pokemon cards. Mine are upstairs. I didn't get any like super cool things. I'll be honest. I was hoping for one Pokemon. Sadly, the packs I bought doesn't even have that Pokemon. I was hoping for my boy Shuckle. Yeah, baby, there he is. Look at that. Look at that little derpy turtle.
A beautiful man.
Beautiful.
It's the only card I keep out because you love it so much. All the other cards are stored away, but I keep this one like on my desk.
Dude, Shuckle's great. I want to get a Shuckle tattoo. And it's gonna be good. I'm really tempted to get a little slogan with him too. I think it'll be great.
Dude, slogan.
I know we're not ones for very vulgar language on the show, but the tattoo I really want to get is "Don't fuckle with Shuckle." Like, that's what I want to get so badly for a Shuckle tattoo, and that would be great. I would love it so much. It'd be fantastic.
It'd be so That might be literally the first Shuckle tattoo in existence.
I looked it up. There are some Shuckle tattoos out there. I was sad. I thought it'd be the first.
I am shocked.
Yeah, and bringing up tattoos, actually, I did finally get some appointments for to finish up these two. So I'm going to finally get some color in those two tattoos in about a month. Almost exactly a month now. So I'm very excited to get those finally finished. But as I was kind of switching over to it, Adam, what are you up to, man?
Hey.
Having fun?
Yeah, having fun. Got some Pokemon cards.
Got so many. You got so many Pokemon.
There's so many. They're so addicting to open. They really are. I'm so glad I got back into it. There's one pack in specific, the team up pack. I think it's Sun and Moon. Yeah, Sun and Moon team up. I would love to get those packs, but they're no longer being made, it seems. So big sad. If anybody listening or watching has a place or someone they know that has some packs, tell me, because like I'm addicted. Besides opening Pokemon cards, League of Legends, as Brandon said, I've been switching between pretty much every role except mid. I don't know. I'm just kind of vibing whatever I feel in the moment.
Dude.
No main champ either. I think I've played a different champ every time.
Mid lane. Thank you, Adam. I a big thank you to Adam this last couple of days. He made me play a character that I was like, I don't think the character's really good, but I love him. I love him in TFT. And I've been playing mid lane with Syndra, and holy poop, she is so good, dude.
She's so OP. They nerfed her, and she's still the strongest character in the game. Like, she's been getting insta banned in most LEC and LCS games.
Yeah, and that's just the big thing, because you look at her win rate, like in around gold plat area, and she's got like a 46% win rate. But then you go look at like the Masters level, and it's like 54, 56%, and it's like, why do people not know how to play her? And I get it, because she's awkward. She's a really awkward character. So once you can kind of get it down, she's so much damn fun, dude. Syndra is great.
Oh yeah.
So good. I love it.
Nutty. Although I did play Poppy yesterday, and I actually kind of oddly fell in love with Poppy.
Dude.
I was me versus a Fiora. And one, she was just really bad at using her E, which is like where you take no damage, and then if you get like crowd controlled, you negate it and then do it back to them. And she would just like preemptively do it for no reason. And then I'd be like, okay, now I'm just going to stun you into a wall because you're trash. But
it's a good time.
That felt fun. That was fun against her.
Yeah.
So
and
might be a Poppy main now.
Our boy Golden was with us last night, just going off as Vi.
His Warwick game was
Warwick was good, but his Vi was
game,
nutty.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he was something like 11-0-6 at one point in the game, and he didn't back. Like, he had 6k gold. I was like, dude, go back. Like, he's playing so well. It was nuts, dude.
Oh yeah. Besides that, only other thing really is Valorant. Haven't touched many other games as of lately. Valorant, still just trying to grind back to plat. Currently gold 3, and whatever progress into it. Who knows? Yeah. Mystery. But I am looking forward to whatever the next skin pack is gonna be. Cause it's been a week and a half already of the dragon.
Yeah, we got 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days left.
Because it was the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, it's already been 90.
Yep, so it's almost time for their new pack, and I'm really curious to see. I don't remember if they called these epics or elites or whatever. I'm going to call them elite. But I'm curious to see how often they're going to do these elite skin packs. If it's going to be once a month, once every few months. Because one, it's pricey. Two, I'm sure it's really hard to animate, and come up with a bunch of different ideas for them.
That's right.
So yeah, curious to see how often they'll be.
No, yeah, I'm definitely excited.
That just leaves Manny. What about you, man?
Yeah, I think with those Valorant skin packs, I think it'll probably be like, because they seem like a lot of the things they're going to be doing, like, big sneeze. I think I muted in time.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Hey.
I glanced over because I didn't realize you muted, and I thought you were just dabbing. I'm like, is Manny okay? Ooh.
So yeah, I think with those, it'll probably, my guess would be they'll probably do something like mid sets, because every 2 months they're gonna have new ranked seasons and new characters coming out. So I feel like it'll probably be like a mid season pass thing that they'll do is like bring out a new elite skin. I can't imagine they would be constantly bringing those out though, because there's a lot to them. And honestly, I was telling you guys that the dragon skin on the Vandal throws me off so much. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's distracting to my feeble mind, but I suck when I use it. It's so bad. But what I've been up to, a lot of Valorant when I've been gaming. Good times. Still Silver 3. Still big sad. But also I've been playing a lot better now that I've had my new computer. I've had a bad game here and there, but
dude,
I've been pretty consistently at like 15 kills.
Yeah, you've been playing really well now. Like you had a game that you were, I mean, our top frag. You were the top of the leaderboard, and that was like your first game with a new PC. Because I mean, I know you have times where you're just like, I just don't get why I'm not playing well. You're like, I'm just bad, and I'm like, I get it. Like you're playing at 30, 40 frames before, and like, yeah, you were getting 7 kills in a game, and like, you know, now that you're at 60 frames, you get like double digit every single game easily, which is good. I mean, like that's perfect. We all have those games where it's like, I got 8 kills, 9 kills, but that's stuff.
That was me yesterday. I was playing so bad yesterday, and I was just getting so annoyed. We only played 2 games. First game I was garbage. Second game I was literally garbage until the last like few rounds, and I was on the verge of just being like, all right guys, I'm just gonna sit and spawn. I'm doing nothing.
No, we all have those games, and it's those days that we all pop off together is that it really kind of sets it apart. And that'll, like, once we get that consistency down, we'll really see ourselves shoot into that, like, you know, plat, maybe diamond area. So that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll see. Honestly, the only other thing I did this week outside of watch some shows, like, have you guys watched Pokemon Journeys yet on Netflix?
I did. Yes.
I'm almost done with it. Surprisingly, really solid. I love that they finally strayed away from the boring formula of, hey, Ash is just gonna go to all the gyms that you see in the games and go to the Elite Four and do all that. Like, it's cool that it's kind of it's a very different idea for a Pokemon show, but it works really well and I think it's fun. But other than that, gaming wise, first of all, I streamed 3 or 4 days this week. I mean, now that I have the computer, it's so much easier to just go in and stream. The stream runs at really good bit rates, and I don't drop a single frame, which is perfect. I'm really happy about it. I played one game though when I think it was my day off on Tuesday, when I didn't have anything to do in the middle of the day. I wanted to try a new game, and I just kind of scrolled through the Steam store for a while, and I found a really cool one called Wilder Myth. I won't take up time going into too much detail about it, but it's a turn-based strategy game, kind of in the vein of Fire Emblem, that does a really cool job of storytelling and player decisions affecting not only the story but the characters too. Quick example, I made a decision that and made one of my characters end up having a rat tail.
Hell yeah.
So it's really cool.
Move.
Yeah, oh dude, definitely.
Now are we talking about the hair rat tail or like a tail?
She has the tail of a rat on her butt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. The writing's great in the game too. The writing's really witty and fun and kind of fits into like modern like wittiness, which I think is really fun, and the stories are really well done, and there's tons of stories to play through too. So it's really fun. It's probably gonna be one of those games I keep going back to when I'm gaming by myself. So like if you guys wanted to go like get an idea of what the game's like, I played it for about 2 hours the other day. The VOD of it should still be on our Twitch. So yeah, that's everything I've been up to this week. So once we wrap up what we've been up to, we always jump into the
Top 5 gaming news stories of the week. Number 1.
So, first story of the week. Again, our news stories this week, they actually all have to do with next gen. The first one was Summer Games Fest had their had another big event happen this week. This time it was they got hands-on with the PS5. Jeff Keighley got to, he did a rundown of the DualSense, the new PS5 controller. Showed off all of the features of it, and then he actually played a few, or it was clipped it down to like 5 minutes, but he played a demo of Astro's Playroom, which is similar to the Playroom app or mini game demo that came with the PS4. There's tons of like little mini adventures to play through that are really just meant to show off the PlayStation and the features of the controllers and things like that. And they showed off how the effects of the controller work, like the adaptive triggers and how they affect gameplay, how they have to add tension based on what you're doing in the game. The sound effects that you'll hear in the controller, like they were going through a sandstorm and you can hear it all happening through the controller and things like that, which is pretty interesting. And then he actually had like a nice 12 to 15 minute interview with Eric Lempel, who is one of the marketing executives for PlayStation, and they talked about the system, things like that. The biggest thing they touched on with that I thought was kind of funny was there was a rumor that came out on Twitter saying that PS5 pre-orders were going to go live today, and everyone blew up, and the Eric Lempel even brought up that people were starting to line up at game stores thinking that was a legit thing, like they were ready to start pre-ordering the PS5, and he's like, no, not happening. And he did reassure people, when pre-orders go live on the PS5, you'll know, and you'll know the day. So a lot of cool stuff from Summer Games Fest this time around. Cool little glimpse into how next gen will feel.
I'm watching I saw little glimpses of this the other day when it first came out, and I was like, okay, cool, showing the controller. But I'm watching Astro's Playroom demo right now, and this game is cute as hell. It's stuff like this with PlayStation that I just love. And again, I love the color scheme that they're going with just the whole system this time around, and the control I think looks beautiful, and it is really cool on how interactive the controller is going to be. It's going to feel less like a controller, like your basic gaming controller, a little more
interactive.
Yeah, I didn't want to say like a Wii controller, it's not that over the top. It's just there's a little extra features to it which make it a little more special, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm really digging it. Astro's Playroom is... I almost had to buy a PS5 for Astro's Playroom. This game's... I love games like this so much.
Just the demo.
It's not my type of game, but I totally get the appeal of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people who love Little Big Planet. I mean, even people who love Minecraft, which I do. I get it. You get your creative side of your brain going, which is sometimes very enjoyable.
Yeah. I always appreciate those kind of goofy games to a certain extent. I've never really been in those GTA type games, but when it gets kind of cartoony and silly, that's when I really start to enjoy those. So,
the inner kid comes out, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So now, all in all, I think it is a really great event that they were able to kind of show off there. It's not too bad. It's 24, 25 minutes, the whole thing, and there's some really cool moments in there. So.
Yeah, and there is one thing that we're going to touch on later in the show that it's kind of more of a topic of debate that a lot of people have had. But we're going to touch on it later in the show because I think it's kind of the broader, a broader issue, not issue per se, but broader topic of debate. So we'll touch on it later in the show. But for now, we'll jump into
Number 2.
All right, so our second story of the week, both Microsoft and Sony touched on next generation production. Sony came out and said that they've been ramping up production on their new systems quite a bit this time around. So they've upped their production from 5 million units by the end of 2020 all the way to 10 million units.
Oh, wow.
For the end of the year, which I did a little digging on that, and the PS4 only sold less than 5 million units by the end of its first year, so it's only a couple months, yeah, but apparently they're anticipating a lot of consoles being sold at launch because of the times and a lot of people spending more time gaming, things like that.
I was gonna say they probably saw like the huge increase in sales with Nintendo products, and they were probably like, well, let's try and one up that. If people are, clearly going super big into gaming right now because of everything, and there's not a whole lot you can do if a lot of your activities were canceled or just not available at this time. That's smart on them, and I don't blame them. I mean, even if they do produce, like, they're gonna sell over time, like, even if it's not in the first year.
Yeah. No, I think it's a smart move, because I think it's one of the worst things you can do as a company, is just not having enough of the products. Like, okay, yeah, if you have over on something like a PlayStation, that's gonna sell. I mean, consoles and stuff like that, I don't have a fear to those selling. Sure, maybe when it comes to like enough games in a store, I can understand something like that, because you need the demand. Everyone eventually is gonna switch over to the new consoles, so it's definitely a good move. I'm really excited to see them make that kind of bigger step and kind of leap of faith that they would have with their with consumers. So I like that a lot.
Yeah.
The second part of the story on Microsoft and Xbox's end is they finally, I was surprised that they haven't announced, or they were doing it for this long, but they finally officially cut production on the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S, all digital. And this one seems kind of interesting to me. They stopped the sale of their 12-month Xbox Live Gold memberships.
Interesting. That's kind of weird.
I thought that was weird, because are they trying to say like you're not gonna have to pay anymore, or is it just gonna be a whole new subscription service kind of thing?
My guess is they're trying to nudge people towards Game Pass Ultimate, where you get everything in one. Would be my guess, or they're just trying to make it where people will just do the monthly thing and just have it recurring. I'm not sure, honestly. That one's kind of interesting to me, because that
is a good guess, though. Yeah,
I'm sure Xbox Live Gold isn't going anywhere, so I'm curious why they would cut the sale of those memberships. But yeah, I think my guess would be it's because they're trying to nudge people towards Game Pass Ultimate, which is an insane deal, by the way.
Yeah,
like if you're
100%.
if you're spending all your time gaming on Xbox, there's no reason to not go with Game Pass Ultimate. You get so much out of it; it's insane.
True.
Yeah, that's right. I think maybe there definitely are people out there. I know Adam and I were those people for a long time, where they're like, well, I only play one game. I'm not gonna branch out and play anything other than this one game for the entire year. I mean, that was literally Adam and I for Call of Duty for probably a good 4 years straight. So some people see it as like, well, now you're making me spend an extra $4 to play the same game online, or however much. I don't know if it's $4, $5, $3, $10, whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, I would say the hefty majority, this is a better thing though. So definitely not too terrible. All right, so if we're ready to move on to number 3, Manny, we good? Yeah, cool.
Number 3.
So, number 3, we're sticking with Microsoft in this one. So, Microsoft's second big announcement from past week was that Project X Cloud, their Google Stadia-esque cloud streaming service, is going to be added to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate memberships at no additional cost. So, it's still only going to be $15 a month. And the service will have cross-save between the platforms that you use the service. So, for those of you that aren't super familiar with Project X Cloud, like I was saying, it's pretty much Google Stadia. You're going to be able to stream your Xbox games on pretty much every device that has an Xbox app. Your computer, your phone, and it's all going to kind of be, connected in terms of like your save progress and things like that. So it's going to kind of be the next step for Microsoft's, games and making their games available, easily for all their customers.
Yeah, no, which is awesome. I mean, it's kind of what I felt like Xbox is kind of shooting for with the last system, is kind of be more of a I don't want to say more of a home entertainment, but just such more of like a general entertainment, like such easily accessible. And that is something I really do love about Xbox, is that you can play it on PC too. For practically all the games. Some of them take a little longer. We just got Halo 3 on there this week. So I think it was this week, right? It is really nice. I honestly would really love to see. I know, like, for some PlayStation stuff, it is out there. I'm hoping we can kind of see all, like, PlayStation start moving to PC and other platforms as well. It'd be kind of, I think it'd be really cool to kind of see, like, everything branch out into one gaming ecosystem for, like, your consoles. Would be really cool.
I don't know if Sony will ever do it, man.
And that's the funny thing, is that when the PS4 first came out, that was their big pitch.
Yeah.
Is that they were going for one big PlayStation ecosystem.
Yeah.
And then they stopped supporting the Vita. They pretty much ignored the Vita altogether and just let it die.
Yeah.
And then they just focused on PS4 and all these great gaming experiences, which isn't wrong. It's just their way of approaching things, and it works really well for them. But I do agree. I even, I mentioned it when they brought out that, I don't remember the exact name of it, but that accessibility controller, for people with disabilities to play with. Like, Xbox does a great job of, one, social connectivity in games, and two, making stuff accessible for people. And the fact that this service is just going to be thrown into Game Pass Ultimate for nothing, that it's still going to be $15 a month, and, like, I think it's $100 for a year. That's insane. To be able to just, if you're bored at work, I'm just going to go play Halo on my phone while I'm at work. Because they did specify Halo Infinite will be playable on xCloud.
Wow.
I think all of their exclusives are going to be able to play through xCloud. So I'm bored at work.
That's
let me
crazy.
just play Halo on my phone. Let me just pick up where I was in the story on my phone. And, or maybe I'll just do it on my computer, because I can do that too. Like, it's insane the amount of services that they have in Game Pass Ultimate for the price that it's at. It still does not make sense to me how they're able to make it that cheap.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's one of the best deals I've probably ever seen for any sort of streaming type service. We see a lot of those, like, different movie passes and stuff that kind of gouge out prices, but especially Microsoft, like, personally for me, pre-hearing the Ultimate membership price, if you told me to guess how much it was, I'd probably say $20-25. Of course, after finding out, getting the pass myself to test some stuff out, knowing it's only $15, it's just incredible. It really is. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to... Sometimes they just don't want to play.
Number 4.
It'll be like that sometimes. Number 4. So we're going to kind of circle back to Summer Games Fest and the interview that Jeff Keighley had with Eric Lempel, one of the marketing executives for Sony. So in that interview he had with Jeff Keighley during Summer Games Fest, he reiterated PlayStation's stance on the idea of having, essentially like generational gaps. Like once the PS5 is out, they've essentially moved on from the PS4.
Yeah.
In terms of, they're not gonna, make their exclusives cross-generational. Like, Miles Morales is going to be a PlayStation 5 game. Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is going to be a PlayStation 5 game. And they aren't worried about the idea of cross-generation exclusives and releases to help avoid stifling innovation, was their wording of it. They don't want their first-party studios to have to worry about making their game work well on a PS4 versus where they can just take advantage of everything that the PlayStation 5 can have. And the game that they touched on during that interview was Ratchet and Clank. If you watched that trailer for Ratchet and Clank, the new one coming to the 5, it was insane what they were able to do just with that trailer alone. And I think that was actually a cutscene in the game. And seeing everything they're able to do with that was a big thing that apparently Insomniac even came to Sony and said, like, we wouldn't have been able to do this on the PS4. So, like, this was only gonna work if it was just a PS5 game. So I guess I just wanted to see your guys' perspective on it. Do you like the idea of just pushing forward with the next generation and doing everything you can to maximize that, or do you prefer to see cross-generational exclusives in the first year or two of the new platform?
Personally, I I can agree with them, and I think it's maybe Adam might be able to agree with me here too. Him and I have always, especially like with the money that we put into a PC now, we've always wanted to strive for the best game experience we can have. And when games have to limit themselves because of it coming out on PS4 and then PC, and it, you know, maybe can't do what it can on PC from PS4, or, you know, from PS3 to PS4 and so on from there. Sorry. I can understand the frustration people would have, because, you know, there's people out there who might not be able to afford a PS5 right away or get it right on launch, or maybe didn't make the decision in time to, you know, pre-order one. And now you're stuck maybe having to wait a couple weeks or maybe a month or so to get the new system, or maybe until Christmas. And I was a little excited, not going to lie. I was like, you know what, I'll probably just play Miles Morales on PS4. But then I was like, you know what, it'd probably just be on PS5 most likely. And if it is, I don't even want to like taint the experience by playing it on a previous console when I can get that higher experience on a PS5. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I definitely do agree. It's tough because there's like, I don't know, there's pros and cons to each side, you know, so it's really hard to say a right and wrong, because the people who think those gaps and those like generation exclusives like are a good thing, I get it, because in a sense I kind of see it for sales and marketing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you want to talk about, you know, actual like gamers, so just not the company, then I get why, you know, let's avoid that, let's skip that and get out of that habit.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, and it's going to be exciting to see where these games will go. That for the first year or two, that they aren't trying to handicap themselves with, you know, that's kind of the problem. You know, you make these extreme, crazy, great games on PS5, and some companies might just be like, you know what, let's just reel them back a little bit on PS5 so we don't have to do so much differentiating to the PS4. Let's just make it work on PS4 and then like high res it a little bit, you know, make some things a little better. Mm-hmm. Instead, now they can just shoot for the moon and go as nuts as they possibly can without worrying about anything about if, you know, the system can handle it, because it will. So it's fantastic.
I think those are both really good points. I mean, you know, if you look at, you know, PS3 to PS4, a lot of the games did play on both systems outside of a couple like Killzone Shadowfall. And look at Killzone Shadowfall. It's, again, we've talked about it before, it's one of the most beautiful games on current gen systems. And it was made in 2013.
Yeah. So
I think that I personally am okay with that kind of stance. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with that stance, because, you know, there's a lot of people that are like, I'm not going to get the PS5 until a year into its life cycle, because every console has issues when at launch and things like that. Which, I mean, if you've had a bad experience in the past, you know, especially in the 360 PS3 era, I'm sure a lot of people had, you know, bad experiences with it. Like, I get it. Like, you know, if I would never, you know, ask somebody to do something that, you know, after they had a bad experience with it. You know, that's why I had a hard time going back to the Xbox One. I had a really bad experience with the Xbox One the first time I got it. But I think, you know, to both your guys' points, this is the best way to, you know, maximize the quality of game you can make from one generation to the other right away, instead of, you know, simplifying what you do. That's why I think Godfall is going to do great when it comes out, because it already looks insane compared to current gen systems, and the amount of detail that they put in that game and the armors that you see in the trailers is insane. So I think, you know, once you see the amount of additional detail that you can put into a game from one generation to the next, I think the more you'll kind of appreciate that they want to just make this system the best that it can be right away.
All right. I'm going to go and move on to
Number 5.
Fifth and final story. I saved this one for last just because I knew it'd be everyone's favorite. It was made official this past week that not only are we getting more information about Halo Infinite during Xbox showcases this week, but we are also going to be getting our first look at the new campaign for the game and a whole lot more. So I don't know.
Very exciting.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys follow the Halo Twitter account, but the past few days they've just posted like an image of Chief Chief holding his helmet, like the one of the big branding images for the game, and it just keeps counting down the days until the reveal for it.
It's supposed to be what, Thursday?
It's Thursday, 11 a.m. our time. I just looked it up a little bit ago.
So
yeah,
man. It's
Thursday 11.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I want to get back into Halo so much because the past few have disappointed me. Also, I haven't been an Xbox owner since the 360. So the last actual Halo I played was Halo 4. So it's been a while, and I've heard good and bad things. I feel like I've mainly heard bad things about the previous few Halos that were on Xbox One, Halo 5 and Guardians, I think, or is that the same one?
Halo
Might be
5, yeah, Halo 5 Guardians is the name of the game.
Yeah. So I did not hear many good things about that game, so I'm really hoping that Halo Infinite is gonna just blow our mind and bring us back to where we need to be with Halo. And again, that's just coming from someone who hasn't been playing it that much lately, so those super Halo fanboys out there, if you loved it, I get it, and I hope this game makes you happy too.
Yeah, it does kind of blow my mind because Adam and I feel like Halo was one of the biggest games for us back on Xbox, and when him and I played Halo 4, we were like, wow, 343 ruined Halo. And that was our perspective at the time. We were like, this is it. Halo's done. And that's why a big reason we were so okay going to PlayStation, because we were like, Halo's the big game. We like Gears. Hey, tell your pops who said, hey. Oh, he probably can't hear us. Dang, he's got his headphones off. And it was just such a big experience for us for Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach. Blew us away. And then, of course, 343 took it over. And we're like, all right, we're gonna walk away. We're gonna walk away from Xbox and just kind of be done with it, because Gears is great, but we never had the same love for it as we did for being able to grind out days and hours of it. I think 343 has listened to the concerns. I really do think that there is a really good chance Halo Infinite can be the game to bring back the true just love and passion for Halo. I'm gonna try to trust them as best I can until we see what happens here.
Same, yeah, because man, to be able to grind a Halo again would be so enjoyable.
Yeah.
So for me, my biggest thing that that's kind of turned me off of Halo the past couple games is that they've slowly gone away from their kind of traditional like arena shooter to taking a lot of these like movement elements from Titanfall, Call of Duty, and adding like the jump dashes and all this stuff. Like I get it, it makes for a more like fluid experience, but for me, what made Halo so special was the simplicity of the gameplay, but adding when they Halo 3, they had like the bubble shields and all these like unique equipments and things like that, and added a different layer to the game. It made it so much fun, and it was a very unique experience compared to all the other like AAA shooters out there. And they slowly just started incorporating those elements from other games into their own, and it to me it kind of washed out the experiences from Halo that made it great to me. So one, I would like to see them simplify the gameplay to what it used to be in Halo 3, in Halo 2, those types of games. But what do you guys want to see from the campaign? Do you want it to just kind of be almost like a soft reboot of the story and just kind of start fresh with a new idea? Or do you want it to, keep going down where it was going with Halo 4 and Halo 5, or I guess with Halo 5 having the multiple, main characters going through different missions together?
See, I didn't play Halo 5, I didn't watch the campaign, so in a sense you could say I'm out of the loop for that. But what I can say is, that I don't want to see that alien species again from Halo 4.
It was
if
a
they
Covenant,
were
Runners?
Forerunner. Thank you. Yeah.
Forerunner, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're in the game for good now, fine. I don't know if they were in 5. I mean, it is what it is. I felt like, for me, the Covenant was always the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
The Flood was the coolest thing ever.
Oh.
I did love the Covenant though as the second, and then the Brutes were okay. I didn't hate Brutes by any means. And then Forerunners just garbage to me. Yeah, no worries.
I think a big problem with the Forerunner, there was no personality to them. Where, the Brutes, they were kind of... They would say things and they were a little dumb, but, they were brutish and they were, like, kind of enjoyable in that aspect. And when it was Covenant, the Jackals were just kind of goofy with just the loud noises they make. The Grunts were funny because they were just... I don't know, it seemed like the drunk children or something like that. Like, they just ran around so crazy and they're just so funny. And then, the Hunters and all that kind of stuff was just so cool. It gave such a great personality to the Covenant. They were all different colors and sizes and all that kind of stuff. Where the Forerunner was, like, for what I can remember, just all, like, silver and yellow. Silver and a little orange. Like, they were just very plain looking. The Flood, again, another enemy type that was just so...
Like, I get their
in-depth.
Personality was kind of meh.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously they didn't have emotions or anything, but they were just so creepy. And, like, the atmosphere was always creepy. And it just gave that, like, a bit of a different experience to Halo. Because, like, it wasn't consistent. You would just sometimes run into the Flood kind of thing. And I loved that. And I also just want to see the game go back to its, like, kind of comedic / Easter egg experiences. I don't know if 4 and 5 kept the skulls or anything like that, like where you'd have to go around and if you collected the skulls, each skull had like different modifiers that you can do in like future campaign playthroughs. Like that was awesome. Or like Halo 3 had so many little Easter eggs, and Reach had good Easter eggs too. Just like weird little things where like you'd walk into a cave and you'd see Bigfoot and stuff like that. And like I just want to see stuff like that again. Like back to its original, like have fun with the game, don't take it too serious. Like yes, the story is good, enjoy it, follow it. But then there's these many things that you can enjoy as well on the side. I
did look into it. 4 and 5 did have the skulls, but I do agree where 4, again, I mean, that was the last one I played for the story. 5, I messed around with a little bit. I got to play a little bit of the multiplayer. I did watch the entire campaign. But, yeah, I felt like they did take it a little too serious. I know Master Chief is a very serious character, but there were just a lot of elements that kind of just made the game a little goofy at times and a little more lighthearted, where 4 and even 5 did feel like... I'm trying to think of it almost felt more like an Army of Two style, and I'll get to the reference later, but it had a very like serious, you're a, I don't know, just a very plain soldier. And I know Chief doesn't like talk a whole lot and stuff, but even just his back and forth with Cortana at times was a little comedic. So yeah, I don't, 4 really lost that for me.
I mean, even if you look from 3 to 4, like the last 2 Halo games felt a little more solitary than the first 3.
That's
like
fair.
The first 3 Halo games you had, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Sergeant, yeah.
Johnson, I think it was. But then not even just him, the Arbiter.
Yeah.
You had like other characters that you cared about and other layers to the story that made
That's
it,
fair.
a little more immersive. Where 4 and 5, it felt a little more solitary, and it felt like Chief didn't really have like any sort of connection to another person outside of Cortana.
No, very good point.
I think that's great.
So-
yeah, that's a great point.
So I think if you kind of bring it back a little bit more to that, and again for me personally, simplify the gameplay to what it used to be, I think that would really, really, get me back into Halo the way that I used to be.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm really excited to see what Thursday comes.
4 days, boys. 4 days.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
The future is here, and I will say one thing that I don't think we've touched on the show before. They did, Microsoft and Xbox did say that this showcase is specifically going to be games, just
Okay.
like PlayStation's was. So, for those of you that are waiting to hear about this rumored like Xbox Series S, that's going to be a mini version of the Series X, there's not going to be anything about it. It's just going to be about the games. So we'll have a lot to look forward to, though. Again, give me Fable 4, and I'll be a happy boy. But I'm sure there's a lot to look forward to, for sure. So be sure to check it out on Thursday, and we'll definitely be here talking about it quite a bit next week.
Before we keep going, I want to take a quick poll with you two. I know, Manny, you are PlayStation. Like, that's the side that you're with for the most part. If they came out and said on Thursday, we see Halo and we're like, oh my god, this is what this is what we've been wanting. They bring back some characters. It's a little more, less solitary and stuff like that, and it does seem a little more lighthearted and a little more fun. And they announce Fable 4 will be coming like at launch or just after launch. Would that make you guys, because I know Adam and myself were kind of like, we're probably gonna wait on the next gen console for a little bit. Manny, would that sway you? Would you be like, all right, I'm going Xbox first because of Fable 4 and possibly Halo being what it was?
One, it depends on launch dates. Two, I've already said if they have Fable, like I already said, Microsoft can have my money.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if anything, it'd be getting both systems, not just one.
That's right.
Big boy.
Right.
No, totally fair. For me, Halo, I'm pretty confident will be on PC as well. So
It's understandable.
I mean, that wouldn't persuade me or anything. But if Fable 4 was announced and it's not crossplay, not PC, nothing like that, oh yeah, they have my money. Yep.
Also, can we get Halo back as the king of esports, for the love of God?
Ooh.
Halo basically birthed esports alongside WoW, and Halo, the amount of people that watch Halo 5 pro play is sad compared to all these other games. So Microsoft, can you figure it out with Halo Comp and make it great again? That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. Real quick though, Adam, you said that you'd be, it would come to PC. Halo 5 is still not on PC. It's been out for 5 years now, and they said they probably will not be bringing it to PC. I just looked into.
Really?
Yeah, this is on PC Gamer. There are still no plans to bring Halo 5 to PC. It is solely an Xbox One entry to date. It has not been part of the Master Chief Collection, and most likely will not be.
I'm a little shocked only because of the whole Game Pass being available for PC players.
Which is fair.
So it's wonder why they wouldn't do that. But
Well, I do know. Well, I'm pretty sure they've said after it was a couple of years ago that they said their exclusives will be on both platforms now.
Okay, so going forth kind of thing.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's going to be at some point they bring Halo 5 over or not, because I know Halo 5 was a 2015, 2014 launch, so it's been a while. I'm sure it's not something that's high on their priority list, just because they have a lot more to worry about, especially right now. But we'll see. I don't know. For me personally, if Halo 5 ends up on PC or not, irrelevant to me. It doesn't matter to me personally.
Well, I'm just saying if Infinite, because Halo 5 didn't, if Infinite would, but for what has been said, I would guess probably it would then with the shift that they have turned to PC now. So, yeah. Because it worried me, because I saw that and I was like, man, if Halo... Because I was kind of concerned, how long did it take for Halo 5 to go on PC? Would I want to wait a year to play Infinite? Or, 6 months, whatever it would be. And then I saw it hasn't been even ported over to PC yet. So I just kind of, I was like, uh-oh.
I feel like they will.
I hope so, yeah. All right.
So, yeah, that's everything we have for gaming news. So once we wrap up all our gaming news, we send it over to that cute boy and talk some movies in a little diddly doodad that we like to call.
If stuff... I don't know what stuff's just like not wanting to like go into the deck today, so we'll see.
Report from the back row!
All right. Skip. Skiddly do, man. I'm ready. I just...
That might have been the most anticlimactic, like, skiddly do I've ever heard, man.
It might have been. I was just kind of thrown off that it wasn't like... I was like, is it going to go?
Bro.
Yeah, I was
He's
like...
focused.
I was like, is it going to play? And then it finally played just kind of out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, I guess we're doing it now. But we're going to go ahead and start it off with something that's been all over every news, any entertainment. And that is Old Guard. It is the new Netflix movie based on a comic book. And it's shattering records right now. There is talks right now that it could hit 72 million households by the end of the month. And that the numbers for this movie is realistically like some of the bigger blockbuster movies we would see in theaters, is how much views that this movie is getting right now, which is insane. I mean, we saw a little snippet of it when we ran into a gaming store the other day. They were playing it. It looked pretty cool. I definitely am gonna have to watch it this week now. My dad watched it. He loved it. I've not heard a negative thing about this movie. I've heard it is fantastic. It's action packed. It is a fantastic story. So, have you guys seen it? Have you guys heard anything about it yet?
I still need to see it myself, besides that glimpse at the gaming store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't watched it myself yet.
yeah. No, it's blowing me away how big Netflix movies and just stream movies are getting. It's honestly pretty impressive. So it's fantastic. Our next story on here. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I do remember, like, I knew I'd saw something for it. I was trying to think of what it was. I saw the trailer for it and how like it's almost like a Kingsman, where it's like this like old like agency of people, but like they don't die. They basically can't die. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting on there. And then before we actually jump into the next one, I just want to bring up another new Netflix movie that's coming out. It's called Power Project. I would recommend definitely taking a look at the trailer when you guys get a chance. Honestly, just the cast is pretty great. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jamie Foxx, Machine Gun Kelly's in it, and I gotta look up her name real quick as well.
Boy, MGK. You gonna diss Eminem some more?
Hell yeah, man. Dominique Fishback is also in it as well. So there's a really solid cast for this, and it's a pretty cool concept. Pretty much the way it comes down to is there was like a drug that was made that gives you a superpower for 5 minutes. And for what I'm gathering, it looks like each person has their own superpower. So it's more like the 5 minutes will enhance the power that is within you, kind of. And no.
No. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay. I saw you shaking your head. I'm like,
my headset was a little like off center, so I was like shaking it back into place.
Okay, you're good. And it like, because I know at one point Jamie Foxx's character like goes to Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, and he's like, oh, so that's your power. So it seems like they all have their own power, and I'm trying to think how to put it. Like, no one actually has powers, but like whenever they take a pill, it just gives them the same power every single time, if that makes a little more sense. So
you see nice stats in it too.
Yeah, I saw that as well. The cast in here is interesting.
It's so weird that like YouTubers and like rappers are just getting movie famous now.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give it to Machine Gun Kelly. He was fantastic, and I
liked him. He was very good in that. He was in another movie that I liked too that I can't think of, but
yeah, I'm honestly not too sure. But this movie does look really good. I think this is another one of those that really could kind of blow up and do really well on Netflix. The cast, the concept, all of it is great. So I'm definitely pretty excited there. Our next story on here, sadly, Manny just walked away for it. But that is Tom Holland's Uncharted to finally begin filming next week. I'll go ahead and restate it for him in a second. The next one I hear Manny talking about is just Tom Holland's Uncharted movie is finally to start filming next week. He just like sent out his own first photo of him for the movie for Uncharted as well, and it's getting a lot of people excited. I'm definitely hoping that this movie can finally start getting some traction. It's constantly getting pushed back, constantly losing directors. So it's gonna be nice to finally see Uncharted kind of start picking up the pace. It's gonna be exciting.
See, I love Tom Holland, but I feel like I never cared for Uncharted. I feel like this is gonna be a bad Tomb Raider. Well, just without attractive Angelina Jolie.
Yikes. I don't know, man. Like, I think the difference is the storytelling that Naughty Dog does in their games is, it's some of the best in games. Like, their stuff would translate so well to other mediums because they're a story first company, So I think it'll translate really well. I think it just depends on how true to the games they're gonna keep, which I don't know if they are because they're going with the younger Nathan Drake for the movie. So we'll have to see what they plan on going with. But they got a really fun cast. Him and isn't it Mark Wahlberg as Sully, if I remember right?
Yeah.
It's a really fun cast. So I think it'll be a fun, witty cast that'll be able to kind of capture the characters the right way.
I agree. I will see this film not because it's called Uncharted, but because it's Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
Yep.
Like, that's so exciting to me, and it might get me into the story of Uncharted a little bit more. So we'll definitely have to see. I really hope this movie can finish up. Next little news on here is some more Tom Holland. Spider-Man 3 is to wrap up filming February 2021. So it looks like Spider-Man's still on a pretty good track to, come out when it's supposed to, which I want to say is 2021 summer.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm pumped
Because it was.
oh.
I know it was originally going to be later, but Sony was like, "Nah, bro, like we need to get this movie done." So they pushed the filming up for it.
Yeah. I
Thankfully.
believe so. When I type in Spider-Man 3 release date, it comes with the 2007 one. So.
The best Spider-Man 3 of all time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Stop it. I think you mean
The only Spider-Man 3 that's ever happened.
Yeah.
But it's also the best Spider-Man 3 of all time. It might forever be. I'm just saying.
I hope not. This one should easily blow it out of the water as long as they actually film it.
Okay, so it actually was pushed back. It was July 16, 2021, but it was pushed back to November 5th, 2021 to give time for Black Widow to come out and those other ones.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say, yeah, which lines up with all their other pushbacks. I think everything was pushed back 4 months for Marvel, so it makes sense.
Yep.
And I'm just saying, Adam, if emo Tobey Maguire didn't do it for you, I don't know what you want from a movie. I'm sorry.
I want sweet little Tobey Maguire who was learning his powers and was in love with Mary Jane and would do anything for her instead of be a butt.
Hey, that dude swung from a chandelier for her at a jazz club. Just remember that.
It wasn't really for
He
her.
also learned how to play
jealous.
the piano out of thin air. I'm just saying.
But was it really him?
One garbage movie to the next. We're talking Constantine. Just kidding. Just kidding.
You
Damn.
call Constantine garbage?
I'm kidding. Great movie.
Yeah, he did.
Keanu Reeves, fantastic. The reason I bring it up is because there's a lot more movie talks that Constantine, the next one, is going to be happening with Keanu Reeves. So I think that's pretty exciting. I really do enjoy the character of Constantine. It is a very, very like keen character, and he's just very smart aleck in it. It's a really well done with what they can do with it. So I would be very excited to see more Keanu Reeves and another Constantine. I think that'd be great.
Here's the real question. Are they going to have Shia LaBeouf again as well?
Don't do that to me, man.
It's director Shia LaBeouf.
Don't do that to me. Bringing in two of the
you
greatest
have
actors
him?
of all time, man. Damn.
Serious question: is there a star that's quietly as bright as Keanu Reeves? He's like one of the most beloved people in Hollywood right now, and he just does his own. He just kind of does. He lives life, does his own thing. Like he's not one of these he's not the type of person that just goes around to like every talk show all the time just to get people's attention. He just
he's such a genuine guy. Like he really is. Like he doesn't act like he's better than people. At least not by what I've seen. Obviously, I haven't met him, so I don't know that for sure. But like, he just seems very down to earth, happy with everything. Like, he's an amazing actor. Every movie he's in, even The Matrix. Stop it, all you haters. All right, like, he's great. I love him. He pulls any look off. Oh, awesome guy.
No, it's fair. I really enjoy the love for Keanu Reeves that the industry has had over the last like 5-10 years, because there was that like mid 2000 area where everyone just crapped on his acting, and he really has shown he is a fantastic actor. He does a lot for his roles. He goes over the top to learn about the roles, and just like for John Wick, like he went out and did like the military training or whatever it was, like special ops training. Exercises he was doing to like learn how to move like an actual, soldier and stuff like that. I thought that was really awesome. So I'm very excited. And next, for the next greatest transition in Nerd Chamber's history, we're talking about another fantastic actor, Hayden Christensen.
Talking about more like controversial.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hayden Christensen signed on apparently for the Kenobi series. Give me more Anakin. Yes.
Can it not be as cringe this time?
Can it be even more cringe?
What?
Can we get that?
No, I think the cringe was good. I think it was needed.
His best movie role, not even close. Jumper. Not even close.
He was good in Jumper. Jumper
was alright. He played well. I think just Jumper, in my opinion, wasn't that great of a movie.
Neither were any of the Star Wars movies that he was in.
The third one is one of the greatest movies of all time. Not even just Star Wars movies.
You mean the most memed movie of all time?
That doesn't mean it was bad.
Yeah, Deadpool was memed a lot. Great movie.
I mean, but that movie was made to be memed. Star Wars.
I don't get your point.
Star Wars took itself seriously and just was
it did.
still
It
not...
did. It took itself seriously. Talk about Jar Jar. It took itself seriously. Don't give me that garbage.
Man. I'm just saying, man. Hey, those movies are considered space operas.
Yeah.
The operas are pretty serious, bro. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna stick with no further comment.
Yeah. I again, I'm just really excited to see more Hayden Christensen as possibly Anakin. It's
If
still
he
kind of
brings
floating.
the hair back, then yes.
Dude, he's got to bring the hair back. He's got to.
That's what made him.
Yeah.
I think he looks ugly without it.
Damn, dude. Damn.
Like a cute boy in Jumper with that nice clean cut.
You're
Don't even
kidding
at me.
This is such an ugly guy.
Oh my. Oh my.
He's so ugly. When he had his like
Holy.
long hair for like Anakin,
Dang.
like in Star Wars, that's when he looked good. But he's such an ugly guy.
Damn. All right, Adam, you heard it first here, Hayden Christensen. Adam is he's coming at you. He's shots are
You're
fired.
ugly. I'm sorry.
Damn. All right. Feels bad. All right, so it's gonna wrap it up this week for a very controversial report from the back row. We talked some old guard, breaking some Netflix records. Tom Holland with Uncharted finally starting filming next week. Spider-Man 3 to wrap up filming in 2021 February. Constantine movie in the talks to return with Keanu Reeves, and possibly Hayden Christensen coming back for some more Anakin in the Kenobi series on Disney+. Gonna go and send it over to Manny to finish up the show and give us that listener topic. Let's go.
So, listener topic for this week was: give us your favorite romance, and I even threw in bromance in gaming.
Oh, yeah, brother.
So, do you have Sammy's response up there? So I can grab it real quick.
I don't have it in front of me right now.
I'll go ahead. No, Adam, that's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. That's
Why
not
you
mine.
hate, brother?
It's a secret. It's a secret.
I was trying to
Right.
get it from earlier before the show. You wouldn't give it to me.
It's a secret. It's also completely unexpected. I feel like nobody would expect this answer. But it's one that's near and dear to my heart. Just know that.
Gosh
So
dang.
computer load. Okay, so we got Sammy's answer somewhere here. Where'd it go? Why do I not see his answer in there? So I saw his was, where is it? Yeah, if you pull up the post, there's no comments, but I saw he answered the question.
I can go and pull it up if you want to.
If you can find it.
Yeah, let's see, I do have it on here.
Okay.
So our buddy Sammy,
go for it.
wonderful Sammy, who's been on the show a handful of times. Nathan Drake and Elena. I think it's Elena.
Elena.
Okay. The chemistry was great. The two characters grew closer together throughout each game, showing how dynamic the relationship was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know a whole lot about those games. I mean, again, Nathan Drake is a very beloved character in gaming, so I'm sure there has to be a reason to it.
It's a solid choice. Can't go wrong.
All right, Adam.
It was easy immediately as like we discussed it last week on the podcast, and Manny was like, "This is our listener top." I was like, "All right, cool, done." Brandon, I love that you're highlighting that. Anyways, for me, it was easy. It's Dom and Marcus, bromance from Gears of War. They were like such good friends, like literally brothers till the end, and I love them.
I hate Adam so much. So just to let you guys know, in our little document here, he's just sitting here guessing what Manny's is. And I just love the Bowser and Koopa King. That's my favorite one in here. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
That's good. All right, but yeah, Dom and Marcus, fantastic choice.
They're honestly, they might be the ultimate bromance in a video game, with one of the most heartbreaking endings.
Yeah,
don't bring it up, man.
I have a more heartbreaking ending.
I just hate that they start playing Mad World as it's happening. You're just like, why you gotta do this to me, bro?
Fair. Brandon does bring up a good point when he gets to his.
Army of Two, Rios and Salem, dude. They had such a great relationship through 2 games, and then it was ruined in the third. I mean, not ruined, actually, like the developers did it wrong, but because of the storytelling, they destroyed their friendship and almost killed each other, and it was nuts. Yep. It was one of my favorite games for so long, and I wish they would bring back another Army of Two. They don't have to bring back Salem and Rios. They can bring in 2 brand new characters and just move on from there, and I'm cool with it. Like the way the games are played is so much fun. The storytelling, honestly, really blew me away with how good those games were. Like I was really shocked on what they did in those 3 games. So yeah, mine is definitely Army of Two though. Manny.
So mine, it was not Mario and Luigi, Adam. It's not me and Brandon, because we're not in a video game. It's also not Peanut and Butter. It's not Shuckle and Brandon's butt. And it's not Chief and Cortana.
So, not options.
Shuckle, baby.
So mine, and again, this would be something that I feel like most people wouldn't guess, but it actually is from Dragon Age 2, which to me is one of the most underappreciated games for how incredible its storytelling was. It's the main character that you play as. I mean, you can name him whatever you want, but I think the name for him in the lore is Garrett Hawke, and Isabella, who's one of the companion characters in the game. So those of you that have played Dragon Age 2, each companion has like a companion quest line that you do, and a lot of them are pretty short for the most part. Some of them are even just like one like semi-long quest that you do, and that's pretty much it. But Isabella was like the one character in the game that had a very like complex story arc to her, outside of just doing one simple like fetch quest to her. She was a very dynamic and complex character. They even made like a spin-off story or graphic novel for her, because she was such a great and well-written character, and the dynamic between her and the main character in the game were just so great. And honestly, it ends in like one of the most like heartbreaking ways. Like you finish her quest line, and she just like leaves, and you don't have her for the rest of the game. And it was just like, it was such a great and well-written like storyline between the 2 characters, and it was I I was all about it. It was great.
Oh, yeah, man. That's awesome.
Disappointing you chose her instead of Meryl.
Nah, dude. Nah. Definitely
Meryl's so
Isabella.
much better looking. All about them elf.
I'm surprised you weren't all in on the Hispanic looking girl. Surprised.
Nah, dude, I
Mr.
was actually
Spanish
all for-
major.
I was all for Fenrith.
Oh. Surprised you weren't in on Anders.
Anders.
Anders, whatever. But yeah, definitely Garrett, Hawke, and Isabella. I think they were great. Great love story that was never meant to be.
Fair enough.
So, listener topic for TNC Live 60. I think this is a great one. I had an idea for one. So we got a Adobe Creative Cloud account for us, and we're kind of going back and forth using different programs. Like I've been messing around with Illustrator and things like that. One of the things I've been doing is working on an idea for a Twitch emote. Now that we're kind of streaming a lot more consistently, and we have the tools to make an emote ourselves. I've messed around with that. So we have the ability to have an emote for each tier of subscription on Twitch. So what I want to do is for TNC Live 60, give us a Twitch chat emote idea, and we'll talk about them on the show, and we'll pick two or three of them to be our emotes for our chat tier subscriptions on Twitch. I thought that'd be a really fun thing, because not only is it a fun listener topic, but you guys can help be a part of our Twitch channel.
Oh, yeah?
So thought it'd be pretty fun.
I like that a lot.
Love
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah. I already vote Shuckle.
One of them Shuckle, the other one Brandon's butt.
Let's do it. All right.
So there you go, TNC Live 60. Give us your Twitch chat emote ideas, and we'll talk about them on the show. I feel like because plus I think it's a really fun thing to look forward to for our 60th episode.
Agreed. Big
So-
ups on that.
Yeah. So that's everything we have for you guys this week. Thank you. It's actually a pretty meaty show this week, surprisingly. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. A lot of cool stuff coming up with next gen. So it was nice that we actually had enough news to kind of have a central idea for all our stories for once, instead of just kind of throwing stories from all over the place together. But once again, thanks everybody who tuned in this week. We always appreciate it. Adam, what's your favorite part of the show? If they want to keep up with us, where do they go?
It used to be my favorite. I hate it now.
There's too many things.
Yeah.
If only there was a way to have them all in one.
But there's not. So,
Adam, your homework is to fix our account on that website, Social Links.
oh God! All
There you
right.
go.
I'm writing a note right now. But of course, you can find us on Anchor, Twitch, Google. What else we
Just
got?
Google.
iTunes. Just Google.
We're there.
Here, wait. What happens if I Google us? The nerd.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's our
Chamber.
Facebook page.
Yeah. So just.
Yeah,
So just Google us.
Google us.
Our first thing on there is our Facebook page, and I bet we got links to everything on there, right, boys?
We might.
Yeah, probably for most things, like our Instagram, our Twitter, our Twitch, twitch.tv/The Nerd
Stitcher.
Chambers, nerdchambers.com, our website.
Don't forget
Google
to go
Play,
to our
Apple
Spreadshirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always remember to
Yes.
check out that merch.
Which I don't know if we've announced it on the show, but we do have one other sale going on this month. 29th and the 30th of this month, we'll have another 15% off sale going.
Oh, yeah.
So another thing to look forward to get yourself some sweet merch. And we do have TNC branded face masks now. Thanks Spreadshirt for getting that set up. So Lots of cool stuff on there for you guys to choose from. Honestly, I might finally be getting something for all the nieces and nephews, since I added a lot of kids shirts and things like that on there. So something for everybody on there for you guys. Lots of great stuff. I think Adam hit most of them. For those of you that typically watch the show live, but you want to if you missed part of the show, you want to catch up with it, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts,
Google,
Stitcher, Anchor, who distributes our show. And for those of you that are listening in podcast form and want a chance to catch us live and talk to us live, Facebook.com/TheNerdChambers. We are live every single Sunday, typically at noon. If it's not at noon, we will let you guys know ahead of time on our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, The Nerd Chambers. Do it. Thank you. That's everything we have for you guys this week. Adam, send us home.